All right, guys. So today I'm going to do a lesson. This is page 32. You guys going to be doing this right after we take the quiz. I just want to make sure we are not behind. So take the notes together and then we will do the classwork next class if we have time. So day unit 1, day 5, operation and composition of functions. And you guys going to be performing operation on functions and do composition on the functions. So we have done this at the beginning of this year, but just to kind of review, I'll do one of each. So given f of x, x plus 5, and then g of x is given to be 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. So the first one is adding, the second one is subtracting, the third one is multiplying, the fourth one is just dividing, right? So this is a simple matter when we are doing the operation. So f of x is x plus 5, right? And then g of x is 2x, I'm adding them, 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. When this happens, you can only combine like terms, right? I have an x here that can be combined. I have a number here, right? And a number here that can be combined. Everything else cannot be combined, right? So the 2x squared doesn't have anything to combine it with. So I have 2x squared, x plus 4x is going to give you 5x. And then 5 minus 3, right? Positive 5 and minus 3 is going to give you positive 2. So this is f of x plus g of x. When we are subtracting, this is something you really have to be careful. I'm subtracting f of x, which is x plus 5, right? Minus g of x, the whole thing, which is 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. One thing I will tell you, you got to distribute the negative. So this is the same as x plus 5, right? The f of x doesn't change. But when I distribute the negative, it'll be negative 2x squared minus 4x. Negative times negative gives you plus 3. Okay? Now I can combine. So I have an x that can be combined with a negative 4x, right? I have a positive 5 that can be combined with a positive 3. So now my solution will be, again, minus 2x squared cannot be combined. Doesn't have anything squared. X minus 4x is minus 3x, right? Because positive x minus 4x is going to give you minus 3x, right? And then I have 5 plus 3, which is 8. So this would be when I take f of x minus g of x. So key is if you're subtracting, make sure you are distributing that negative. I just need the number. So this is multiplication. So the first equation is x plus 5, right? Multiplied by g of x, which is 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Okay, so when you do multiplication, don't forget to do your FOIL method. That means the x is going to multiply this, 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 and the positive 5 is going to multiply the 2x squared, the 4x, and then the negative 3. So when we do that, x times 2x squared gives you 2x cubed plus x times 4x gives you 4x squared. X times negative 3 gives you negative 3x. That's the first one. For the 5 times 2x squared is going to give you 10x squared, right? 5 times 2. So I'll write it down here. Positive 10x squared. 5 times 4 is going to give you plus 20x. 5 times negative 3 gives you negative 15. So now I can just add it up. I wrote it down, so I just don't want to extend it. Then I wrote it down right below the like term, so that it's easier for me to add them. So this doesn't have anything to add with, so you just leave 2x cubed. 4x squared plus 10x squared is 40x squared, right? Negative 3x plus 20 is 17x. Minus 15 doesn't have anything to be combined with, so you just leave it like that. Okay, that is your final answer. So the division one is x plus 5, right? Divided by 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. So I'm just going to leave this as it is for right now. But in your unit 2 or unit 3, we're going to learn to factor the quadrilateral equation. And then if it is possible, we can eliminate. But right now, just leave it like this because I don't see anything common that I can take out and just simply without knowing how to do factoring. But we will get into factoring when we get to unit 2. So this is just a simple operation of adding, subtracting different functions, okay? So in this case, we want you to evaluate a function when the graph is given. We did this, I think, day 2. So it's kind of a review. So now the graph is given, f of x equals to y, meaning this is the same as what f of x means. It means the same thing as what y is, right? So what is f of negative 2? That's the first question, right? What is f of negative 2? What is negative, when x is negative 2, which is here, where is the graph crosses, where's the graph is being crossed, right? At what point? Negative 1, right? When f of x is negative 2, this is negative 1, meaning when x is 2, it's going to be negative 1, like if you have to write it in order pair, okay? The next one is f of 8. When x is 8 here, right? Where's the graph? I go up and find where the graph is in this case, which is at positive 5, right? So when x is 8, y is going to be positive 5. Okay? So go ahead and do this one. And then I'll do the next one, which is f of x equals to 2. Meaning when y is 2, what is the value of x? So what I will do is I'll look at, this is my y-axis, right? So I look at where y is 2, right? Y is 2. So it's actually 2 location, right? So y is 2 here, right? It's going to be negative 1. And I have 2 here and positive 5, right? So I can say f of x equals to 2 when x is negative 1, right? And then when x is 5, it'd also be 2. So your answers would be negative 1 and 5, right? So the 2, oh, there's another one actually, right? There's another one, which is negative 6. Negative 6, comma 2. Right? So y will be 2. Y is 2 at positive 5, at negative 1, and at negative 6. So wherever the 2 is, I drew the line and just try to find where the graph intersects. So it's going to negative 6, negative 1, and positive 5. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one, which is f of x equals negative 2, right? Negative 2 is right here. There's nothing here. Oh, it keeps going, right? This one keeps going. So this might be a possibility at 9, and there's a possibility here where x is going to be negative 9. So negative 9 and positive 1. Okay, so I'll just have you guys do this one when you have a graph. All right, for the next one is, given the equation, they want you to find f of -5, f of -4, f of -3x. So I'll do this one and this one. I'll have you do -4. So what they want you to do is take the x and change it by -5. So -5 is here, right? So everywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it by -5. So here, 2 -5 squared minus 4 -5 plus 1. Okay, so -5 squared is going to be 25, right? Minus 4 times -5 is positive 20 plus 1. So 2 times 20 is 50 plus 20 plus 1, 50, 60, 70, 1. So the answer would be f of -5 is 71. Okay. Now I'm going to skip f. I want you guys to do this when f of x is negative. When f of -4, what is that? I'll do -3x. Okay. So wherever I see x, I'm going to replace it by -3x. So I have 2x squared, right? Instead of x squared, I'm going to replace it by 3x minus 4, 3x plus 1, right? So remember, this is squared. So 2 -3x times -3x is 9x squared. Negative times negative is positive. -12x plus 1. So 2 times 9 is 18. X squared minus 12x plus 1. That's all you have to do. I want you guys to do this part. Okay, and then we go over it together. All right, so now this is the composition of functions. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing, or this is probably your first time seeing it. So there's two ways we can write it. This is f of g of x, or you can say f of g of x, which is, it both means the same thing. What it means is you take the function of f, whatever g of x is, you plug it in inside the x, right? So I'm going to do this two-part for you guys so that you kind of have, see it. So f of g of x. So wherever the x here, which is this x, I'm going to take all this equation and plug it into here because it's f of g of x. Okay, so f of g of x is going to be x plus 5, right? But instead of x, I'm replacing it by this number. So x squared plus 2x minus 5 plus, don't forget this, 5. Then once you write it, all you do is combine it. So this would be x squared plus 2x minus 5 plus 5 is 0, right? This cancel out. So you can leave it like this, or you can say x is common, right? X plus 2 would be the answer. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can just leave it like this. That's the answer. All right, for the second one, they want you to do g of f of x, right? So g of x is given. So let me erase this so that you guys can see what I'm doing. This is kind of backward. So g of x is this one, right? I'm going to replace all the x by f of x. So this is the x. So I'm going to replace it here. And I'm going to replace where the x is here. Wherever x is, you're going to put f of x, which is x plus 5. So when it says x squared, I'm going to put x plus 5 squared plus 2. Wherever x is, I'm going to replace it by x plus 5 minus 5. And then you just do the operation, right? So if you remember, when we have x plus 5 squared, it means x plus 5, x plus 5. You have to do the FOIL method, right? So this gives you x squared plus 5x plus this times this is 5x plus 5 times 5 is 25. That is just the 5 of 5. That is x plus 5 being squared. Okay. All right. Now we're going to combine it with the others. Sorry, guys. All right. So now we have to combine the like terms for this one. And I'll erase it so that I have more space, right? So this can be combined as 5x plus 5x is 10x, right? So let me erase it so that I'm not writing. So the first part, oops. When I square x plus 5 times x plus 5, I get, to use the parentheses, I got x squared plus 10x plus 25, right? For this part, all I have to do is FOIL this, right? 2 times x is 2x plus 2 times, distribute versus FOIL. 2 times 5 is 10 minus 5, right? So now I can combine like terms. There's no x squared on the other side. So I just leave the x squared as x squared. But I have a 10x and a 2x that can be added into 12x. 25 plus 10 minus 10. So 25 minus 5 is 20 plus 10 is 30. So g of f of x, this is what it will give you. Okay, so I want you guys to do g of h of x, meaning inside g, h of x goes in. H of x is x minus 3, right? So inside g, every time you see an x here, you replace it by x minus 3. You replace this by x minus 3. So you guys go ahead and do this, and then we'll go over it in class. You can pause the video. And then g of negative 5, maybe I'll do this one. F of g of negative 5. So the first thing I will do is, what is g of negative 5? So g of negative 5, right, goes inside f of x. That's really what they're doing, right? So x squared plus, so let me use my paper so that I'm not going up and down trying to find it. So the first thing I will do is, what is g of negative 5, right? So I want to know what is g of negative 5. Whatever that is, I put it in f of x. Okay, so g of negative 5 is, this is page 34. G of x is x squared, so it's going to be negative 5 squared plus 2 times negative 5 minus 5. Negative 5 squared is 25 positive minus 10 minus 5, right? Because 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15 plus 25 is just going to give you 10, right? So now g of negative 5 is 10. So now I want to know what is f of 10. So f of 10, so f is x plus 5. So 10 plus 5, right? Then 15. So f of g of negative 5 is 15. That is the answer. So I want you guys to do this problem, which is g of h of x, and then we'll go over it next class. All right. So 35 is kind of, an exit ticket. I don't know. I want you guys to do it yourself. But yep, this is all about it. If you are struggling with the concept, I guess we'll go over it more in class. I guess let me try to help you out with the first one, h of g of x. H of x is here, right? G of x is here. Everywhere I see x, I'm going to replace it by this. So h of g of x. So this goes inside this x. So when I write it, it will become 3 parentheses x squared plus 3x minus 1 minus 4. Distribute this first and then combine it by -4. Okay, so this is it, guys. So you guys will do this before or after the quiz. All right, let me stop the recording.